Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 3 of My Adventures with Superman. So yeah, we're doing another episode this week just because I wanna. No other reason, I just want to. And hey, we don't have a schedule. We just do reactions whenever I'm feeling up to them, so I can do that. So the first two episodes were a two-parter. It was basically to set up the world and bring Clark into becoming Superman. We also got our first look at Livewire, Leslie. We got our look at Slade Wilson. So, some setup for the future with some villains and all as well. We got Lois and Jimmy's parts to play. We see that that their credit is being divvied out to other reporters, actual reporters at the Daily Planet, because, you know, they can't really get the credit considering they're just interns. Unfortunately, that's how it just is gonna go. It really sucks, and I agree with them that it's not fair, but it's just how it's going to go. That's how a business like that would work. So now we get into the rest of the actual series. Like, now that we've had our premiere, now that we've like kicked off the show, we can delve into other stuff. We can delve into more with the characters, developing them, working through different stories, different enemies, and obviously setting up for more returning stuff, more continuity and whatnot down the line. I'm excited to see what more we get. Because the first two episodes of this were really good. Definitely had a lot of potential there and was working towards a really fresh take on the Superman mythos that I feel is going to work a lot. Now, there's going to be some things that probably won't. There's going to be some episodes or plot points that just aren't as good. But that's something you could kind of say with any show. So, that's not really a detriment at all. That's just something you kind of expect. I'm just wondering exactly how deep we're going to go into this. Like, are we going to get the likes of Lex Luthor at any point? Are we going to get Brainiac? Are we going to get, I don't know, Gorilla Grodd or someone? Just all kinds of other villains. Like I said before, I actually don't really know much. I've been staying away from most spoilers. I only know about one thing that comes in. I don't even know what episode that's supposed to happen, but I just know one thing that happens. I don't know the context surrounding it all. I just know it happens. And so we'll have to see how that actually plays out. Mail was just delivered. Yeah, we'll have to see how that actually comes about when we get to that. But there's a lot of villains they could bring in at any point, so I'm just interested to see. But yeah, I'm definitely invested. I'm definitely into it. And hopefully we get to just explore these characters in depth a lot more. That's my biggest hope. Getting to see them really develop, showcase flaws, showcase the positive aspects of them, showcase just what makes them human. Because even though, you know, Superman is an alien, the Superman stories are about humanity. And they're about what it takes to be human and what it means to really, like, embrace humanity. It's a very strong concept that has kind of been a recurring thing throughout all iterations. So I really want to see that here. And see that really delved into in all of its messy glory. I want to see these characters mess up. I mean, we've already seen it in the premiere episodes with Lois, you know, not telling Clark what was going on and everything. So hopefully we just end up seeing more of that going forward. And yeah, like I said, bring in some great classic villains. That would be pretty fun too. Bring in oh God, what is his name? Bizarro. Bring in Bizarro. That would be pretty interesting. Or bring in like some of the more wacky villains, like Mr. God, how's his name pronounced? Mixopiddleick, I think. Bring in him. That would be wild with his little bowler hats and whatnot. Bring in again. I mentioned. I didn't mention Solomon Grundy. That's more of a Batman rogue. No, I mentioned Gorilla Grodd. Bring in him. That would be interesting. There's all kinds of villains. I'm not as familiar with like Superman rogues as I am like with Batman ones, but definitely Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's the big one. Like, you have to have a Lex Luthor. You just have to. You know? It would just be weird to not. He doesn't even have to show up like right away, or he doesn't even have to be a bad guy right away. I mean, he wasn't a bad guy at the start of Smallville. So you could easily have Lex Luthor start as a good guy. Or you could have him start as even just a minor character kind of in the background, or like just on a news report or something. Just to bring him in there, you have to have Lex Luthor. It'd be like having Batman without Joker at all. It just wouldn't really work as well. Like, you could do it. Like, Batman has a lot of other great villains, but you gotta have Joker in there somewhere. It's like Joker is Batman's main villain. Like, prime antagonist. You have to have Lex Luthor in here. Otherwise, just go wild, really. I don't think they're gonna bring in Doomsday, because bringing in someone like Doomsday would be hard to do. Like, that would have to be like a big season finale kind of villain. Because Doomsday's like just too big of a deal. Same with someone like Darkseid. It's like, I do not see them bringing in Darkseid. But I'm also kind of wondering if they'll bring in other heroes. Like, will we ever get Kara in there, Supergirl? Will we ever get any of the other Justice League heroes, like Wonder Woman or Batman or Flash or Green Lantern? Any of them. Genuinely curious. But I guess we'll have to see. Right now, I think it's just going to stick mostly to Clark, Lois, and Jimmy. And focus on, like, seemingly some, not really minor villains per se, but ones who aren't going to be as, like, I guess, big of a deal. Like, comparatively, like, you don't think of, like, Deathstroke as a major Superman villain. You don't think of Livewire as a major Superman villain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But they've got to build to something for the season finale, at least, you know? I guess we'll see. Trying to think of other Superman villains off the top of my head. Again, I'm not as familiar with them. I know there's more. I just can't for the life of me think of them. Either way. I'm interested to see where it goes. So, we're going to get on with this. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the links to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. That one caught me off guard. It's like, obviously I've heard a lot of actors and everything have guest roles in animated shows before and everything, but I don't know, I just, Lucas Grabeel, like, that just was not expected. And I went back and listened to his voice again. I would never have guessed that. I would never have guessed that was Ryan from High School Musical. Like, not at all. Not even a little bit. And Vincent Tong, like, I feel like he wouldn't be as easy to recognize either, but it's like, as many times as I've seen the High School Musical movie, I would think I would recognize Ryan Evans' voice. But it's a different voice. He's definitely doing a different kind of voice. His character, Mist, in this is a little more edgy, I guess you could say. A little more of an edgy, cool guy character rather than Ryan Evans in High School Musical, who is, more flamboyant and fun and whatnot. So it's a very different kind of role, calls for a different kind of voice and all, but I just would not have guessed that. So Lois got her interview and she calls Superman out on being a liar, which she's not wrong about. She's not wrong to a degree that he's lying, and it's more that he's keeping certain information while also just not revealing too much. We understand why. We understand why he's not doing that. He doesn't want to reveal his secret identity. And honestly, he just doesn't want to give any possible information to be put out there. Because he knows. He likes Lois. But he knows that she will do everything to get that shit printed. And he doesn't want any kind of information that could, hurt him or the people he cares about out there. Even if it's not Lois's intention for that to happen. So you get his point of view completely. The tech we're seeing, we see that that's coming from like Leslie and Slade. So we have a lot of setup with this group, I guess you could say, putting out other villains. We don't know their exact reason yet, though. We don't know what their goal is, what their motivation is, why they're fueling these other villains. I don't think they were doing it before, though. It seems like it's almost new. So I'm wondering if they're doing it because of Superman now. Maybe they're trying to, like, lure him out to study him. That's the only thing I could think of. But it's very interesting, and it definitely raises some questions about what their plans are. Jimmy is proving to not just be a third wheel in this series, which I'm really happy about, because Jimmy usually is that kind of character in the various other media for Superman. He's usually just kind of a joke character who's there as a third wheel, who's there as just a friendly little dude who is not really that important. But here he's proving to be a valuable member of the team. Like, while he doesn't like do as many big things as Clark and Lois because they're the two main ones, we could see that for their investigations and all, he's been invaluable. Like, even finding the map of the bank on the back of the poster, it's like, yeah, that was extremely important. And Clark and Lois treat him as an equal as part of this trio. He's not seen as lesser than them. He's seen as just as valuable and important. And I really do like that. We also have our new trio of enemies in this. I don't know if they're going to be recurring at this moment. But we have Mist, Silver Banshee, and what was the other one called? It's like something like Groundbreaker or something. Let me see if I can find the credits here. Real quick. Here we go. Rough House. That's it. Not Groundbreaker at all. I like their I like their chemistry. It's clear that they care about each other a lot. And they have some pretty interesting powers with this tech that they were given. Mist being able to turn invisible and whatnot. Rough House having enhanced strength. And obviously Silver Banshee's Banshee Scream. Some pretty cool powers. Plus, obviously having the ice cannon helps, even if it's not well made. Which, if that tech did come from Slade, I have to kind of feel like that was intentional. I don't feel like if that cannon was made by Slade and everything, I don't feel like it would be malfunctioning, for lack of a better word, just accidentally. It doesn't seem believable. So if he is trying to use these other villains to lure out Superman to study him and whatnot, like my guess is, then that would make sense as to why he would have the machine malfunction. He wants to see like the limits of what Superman can do in an extremely dangerous situation. Again, don't fully know the extent of why. Don't really know like what the point of doing this is. Like, is he a straight up villain? Is he and his group straight up villains who are trying to like maybe do something really big, and they need to know like the limits of their opponents or something? Or is there another reason? I genuinely don't know. But there's both continuity in this as well as an episodic nature, and I like it when shows can blend that, because there's a lot of shows that obviously have to go very episodic in order to kind of keep attention in a way, because some people aren't into the entire serialized storyline thing. They prefer when it's like, oh, different enemies, got all these different events happening. It keeps their attention, keeps things fresh, so it's not just feeling like the same thing every week and whatnot. Even though I don't necessarily agree with that, that's what I've heard some people say. But I like that this is combining both. We clearly have an ongoing story. We have an ongoing plot with Slade and these other villains, but we're also having like episodic stuff with like enemies of the week, but they're all being funded and progressed by Slade and them. There is an active continuity with the story as well, like them mentioning stuff that happened in the past. We get to see Ronnie, Kat, and Steve, who are the three reporters that our hero's story was given to in the last episode. And oh my god, Kat Grant in this is hilariously over the top. Her entire DAHLING speech is freaking amazing. It's like Rarity from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, but annoying. You know what I mean? It's like purposefully annoying. And Steve is like just a meathead. Just a stupid meathead who's just there to be a meathead. Ronnie is the only one who seems to have any actual sense to her. And even she's like not exactly like going against the stuff they're doing. She's just like annoyed by Kat and Steve as well. So yeah, we also got the opening in this one, and it shows some really cool visuals in it, as well as the shots of like a bunch of different villains, which various openings have done. So I'm interested to see how a lot of these other villains come in. Outside of the ones we've already seen, I don't think I recognized any of them. So it's going to be interesting to find out who they are in relation to this. I think one of them, though, let me see if I can go back to this real quick. Just had to try and find it again. I think it was after they broke out Silver Banshee. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Just gotta get it to the right moment here. Okay, so we definitely have Silver Banshee on the left. That is definitely her mask. It's like red because of the background and everything. We have who's clearly Deathstroke, who's clearly Leslie. We have like some goons, like some guards with glowing green guns on the bottom. We have a bigger dude over on the left side in the background. Another guy who almost looks like he has electric powers like Leslie, but differently executed. The woman who, I think that's the woman who I thought was like Amanda Waller. I still don't know if it actually is or not. Next to Deathstroke, there's also this like monster looking dude. Like almost kaiju like. There's the elf dude who looks like probably blue skin or something on the right side. Definitely interested to see who that is because the design looks very different than everyone else here. And then there's someone in the back who's shadowed, who is purposefully shadowed unlike everyone else. You can see some, like, only there's, like, glowing eyes, but that doesn't actually mean anything. It looks like there's a bald head, but that might be, like, a helmet or something. That could be almost anyone. It could be, like, Lex Luthor, it could be Brainiac, it could be a lot of different ones. And is there someone in the middle there, too? Yeah. Yeah, there's someone in the middle as well who looks like almost like a Superman, like a Bizarro Superman in a way. I wonder if Bizarro's going to be in there. Because it's like a black and white suit and cape and everything. Lots of questions with all of that. I'm not going to study it too much because I don't want to end up trying to research it too much and spoil myself, but yeah, I'm very interested to see where this goes. And we'll just continue reacting to these. We might eventually even catch up and just have to react to them as they come out. So, in the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of My Adventures with Superman? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.